last class of the year. I said we finally made it through. Last class of the year. When the school year's over, I'm gonna stand up and cheer. Well, yes, I'm definitely gonna stand up and cheer. I think you all are. Congratulations on just about making it through this crazy school year. And so for this last week, I wanted to start out with something that, well, it brings me joy, hopefully puts you in a good mood too. The blues, the 12-bar blues. When I hear that, there's something about it that is just reassuring. I'm like, yep, everything's going to be all right, no matter what we've gone through. So now the blues I talked about a while ago. I think it was in February, which was only a few months ago, but it feels like it was a few years ago. So when you hear the blues, the 12-bar blues, there's a couple things to remember. Well, first of all, the lyrics follow this AAB pattern, right? You've got line 1, you say something. Line 2, you pretty much say the same thing. Maybe slightly different, but you say the same thing. And then line 3 is something else, right? Now the blues has what we call and response. Now with call and response, sometimes it's a call and response where the response is just a straight up echo, right? I know you've heard songs like that before, kind of like one we do in chapel, right? The I will call upon the Lord. Whoever's the leader is doing the call, and you just do the response, which is a straight up echo. Pretty easy, right? Sometimes call and response, the response is not an echo, but something a little bit different. Kind of like our Easter one, right? Christ is risen, he is risen indeed. There the response is something a little bit different, but it goes with the call. So, all right. And in the blues, we've got both of those. We've got the echo and the response. So line AA is kind of like the call with the echo, and then line B is a little bit different. So that's another thing I like about the blues. It's got kind of both kinds of call and response in there. Now, it's also the 12-bar blues, which I don't remember if I talked about that back in February, but the blues kind of became this form that was 12 bars long, meaning that it's in 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And each time through is 12 of those bars of 4, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to hear the 12-bar blues again. You listen for the AAB rhyming scheme. Then I'm going to have you count to 12, right? I'll count with you like 1, 2, 3, 4, a 2. And so on up to 12. Maybe sing another AAB. So, all right, watch out for that. Here we go. Better with a harmonica. Okay, here we go. This one, listen for the AAB. Well, the school year started out with everyone on Zoom. Oh yeah. The school year started out, everybody was on Zoom. I hope next year when we start out, we're all in the same room. Let's count to 12. Here we go. A 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep it going. 5. Are you at 9? After 12, when I hear music like this, I want to tap my shoes. Woo! I said when I hear music like this, makes me want to tap my shoes. It's none other than the 12-bar blues. All right, well that puts me in a good mood, hopefully puts you in a good mood, and we're ready to start our last week. Now I would like to take a couple of minutes and just review some things we've been talking about all year. Like, what are these things anyway? Well, let's go back even simpler. Let's talk about the beat in music. because I don't know that I've actually told you what the beat really is. I know I've told kindergarten and some of the younger grades, so this might be a little new, but it's very easy new. So I think of it this way. The beat is the pulse of the music, right? Let me say it again. The beat is the pulse of the music. One more time. The beat is the pulse of the music, right? Because most music, not all, but most music has some sort of a steady beat. Sometimes it's slow, right? Just like your heartbeat. When you're asleep or not doing much, your heart is slow but pretty steady, right? Then when you wake up and start moving around, it's a little bit faster, right? But it's still pretty steady. And then when you're running a race and maybe coming around that final sprint, well, your heart's going as fast as it can. It still might be pretty steady, right? But it's like, bum, 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 bum. Well, maybe not that fast, but you get the point. Your heart is pretty steady, right? Same thing with music and the beat. Now, if your heart's doing this, boom, 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 well, then you need to go see the doctor because that would be a little uncomfortable to have your heart do that. Same thing with music. If the speed changes all of a sudden too much, you almost don't know what to do because it's too hard to pay attention, right? So most of the time the beat is pretty steady. So let's get a nice beat going. All right. So if this is our beat, most of the time in music, the beat is going to be this note, the quarter note. Now I know, yes, some of you are going to say, well, you could use any note for the beat. That's true, but I'm just trying to keep it simple. This is the last week. Most of the time, the beat is the quarter note. Right now, if you did have another note as the beat, if it was really slow, you might have half notes. If it's faster, you might have eighth notes, but let's keep a beat about this speed. Quarter note, right? Ta, 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 ta. So now if you want to divide that quarter note and go twice as fast, you would have ti, 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 right? This is still the beat, but you get two sounds on one beat, right? Ti, 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 ti. Now if you're going even faster, you get the sixteenths, right? Ticket, 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 ticket. Remember, this is our Eye of the Tiger, right? Ticket, 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 ticket. I'm subdividing sixteenths in my head, but the main beat is still this quarter note, right? Now, if you have notes that are twice as slow, right, you have the half note, ta, 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 but I'm still keeping this quarter note pulse in my head. Then you'd have something that was 4 beats, right? Ta, ta, whole note. So, again, this should be a pretty easy review. So let me just go through them all from slow to fast. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, ta, whole notes, right? You're counting to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Super easy. Now I've got ta, ta. Those are half notes. The quarters are ta, 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 ta. Now the eighth notes, ti, 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 ti. Now sixteenths, ticket, 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 ticket. All right, I might be speeding up slightly. I shouldn't. We have a tendency to rush, but it should be steady. All right, now let's talk about the tie. So if I take these first two notes, right, ta, ta, and I tie them together, right, looks kind of like a smiley face, but then I hear ta, right, we don't make a sound on that second note, so that means that two quarter notes tied together sound exactly the same as a half note, right? We have ta, sounds just the same as ta, right? Two ways of writing the same sound. Just like in English, right? If I say the word to, well, I could say, I'm going to the store, T-O. If I say, oh, I have invited my friend to come to, T-O-O, right? And if I say, now there's 2 of us at the store, that's T-W-O. So several different ways of writing the same sound. We have the same thing in music. So now what if I want a note that is worth 5 beats, right? ta. Well, there's several ways to do that in music. Here's just a few. All right. We've got, it could be 5 quarter notes tied together, right? Sounds like this. Ta. This will sound the same, right? 2 plus 2 plus 1. It was 5 last time I checked, right? It sounds like this. Ta. Or you could have 4 plus 1, right? Ta. Or 1 plus 4. Same thing, right? Ta. And there's hundreds of other ways you could do this. But in music, the general rule is you want to write whatever's easiest for your eye to pick out. But then, of course, it also depends on what else is going on in the music. So all you need to know for now is there's more than one way to write the same rhythm. All right, let's go on to dynamics. So in music, we've got the different levels, right? We've got, which we usually think of as loud and soft. But remember, we're using Italian words. We've got forte, which really means strong, right? I could play strong on the piano. That's pretty forte. I can also play piano, which doesn't mean weak. Right? I was playing piano on the piano. Now, piano in Italian, it kind of means like the word for like a floor or a level. So it just means like a little bit lowered. And I did a lesson a long time ago in January, which some of you saw, not all of you. I talked about the history of the piano and where it got its name. But basically, it got its name because it was an instrument that could play both soft and loud. So the guy who invented it said, let's call it the piano e forte, meaning the soft and loud. All right, so if you just remember piano and forte, I'll be happy. But of course, in between, we've also got M, mezzo, piano, and mezzo forte. So now this one's closer to the piano, so mezzo piano is a little softer, mezzo forte is a little louder, and of course forte on top and piano on the bottom. Some people have extremes. They might have 2 P's and 2 F's, which are pianissimo and fortissimo. But if you don't remember all that, that's okay. As long as you can remember forte, strong or loud, and piano, meaning soft, I'll be satisfied. One last time through our tricks for remembering the lines and spaces on the treble clef and the bass clef. So first let's start with the treble clef, because that's the one that you're more likely to see if you open up a hymnal or play a wind instrument, sing in choir. All right, so we're starting with treble clef. Let me get my good times bass line going here. All right, there it is. Here I go. I said E, G, B, D, F. These are the lines for the treble clef. Every good bird does fly. These are the lines from low to high. The F, the A, the C, and the E. The spaces spell face, can't you see? The F, the A, the C, and the E. The spaces spell face for you and me. Alright, so those are my tricks for the treble clef. Now, I didn't make them up, but here's how I remember that those are the tricks for the treble clef. Because treble means high notes, right? So I think of that bird flying in the sky, and that's how I remember, ooh, that's the treble clef. I can almost picture that bird flying around, right? And your face, most of the time if you're sitting or standing, your face is the high part of your body, right? So the tricks, the face trick, if you can remember, that's high notes, the face up high, the bird flying. Hopefully that'll work for you. All right, now on to the bass clef. Let's get a different beat for that one. Let's see. Here I go. I said, good burritos don't fall apart. Again, good burritos don't fall apart. Again, good burritos don't fall apart. All cows eat grass. Again, all cows eat grass. Now, how can you remember those tricks go with the bass clef? Well, here's how I remember it. It might work for you. If you imagine that bass clef is like a burrito that's starting to come unwrapped. That's not good news, right? Because good burritos don't fall apart. So if you say that, that might remind you you want to keep the burrito wrapped together, right? And also if you picture a cow eating grass, well, you know that its face is down low, like all the way to the ground, kind of like those lowest bass notes way down low. So that's how I remember we've got the burrito, good burritos don't fall apart, and then all cows eat grass for the bass clef. So hopefully that works for you. All right. Well, this last class wouldn't be complete without the next thing coming up, a bunch of bloopers I put together from this past year. Because I'm just talking to myself in this room. There's no one to stop me when I mess up. So I mess up a lot. In fact, I didn't even start saving bloopers till January. So we probably would have hours and hours of mistakes that I just erased from the fall. Now, some of it's me just not knowing what I'm going to say next. Other times I'm messing up the English language, not speaking clearly. Even my computer is tired of this whole pre-made video lockdown thing, because at one point I come out sideways, just when I thought nothing surprises me anymore. Because I film everything the same way on my laptop using the, I think landscape it's called, portrait landscape, whatever, the horizontal mode. Well, all of a sudden I go to watch the video and I'm sideways, so who knew? I even messed up the year because I went to give kindergarten their homework assignment and I was off by 20 years before they were even born. So anyway, here it is, a bunch of my mess ups from this year, bloopers from the quarantine. We're clapping it, we're not singing it. Just wanted to point out those things. And welcome to the glitchy world. We're going to learn about an instrument that you may not have heard before. The clavichord. Okay, kindergarten, here's your very first homework assignment for 2001. All right, we are going to start right out here in February. We're going to start out with our 5-note warm-up. It's a little bit... What is that? So James P. Johnson didn't make up that rhythm, neither did Scott Joplin, but James P. Johnson made it famous because of the Charleston dance. Now, we're going to... Oh, yes. Woo! Well, that'll get your blood going. All right. Let me just cover up so we can really focus on Jake's rhythm. All right, here we go. So, woo. Okay. Now let's get that backing track going. Where is it? I'm going to make a trombone. Check this out. These are different diameters, so one goes inside the other. I'm hoping that when the tube is longer, it's going to be a lower note, and when it's shorter, it's going to be a higher note. I haven't even tried this yet. Let's find out. Well, wait, I have to do the same thing with my lips. Whew. All right. All right, so I'm going to play this tune from the waltz, the Sleeping Beauty waltz. I'm going to attempt it on recorder and piano at the same time. I'm going to have bad posture so you can see it. This could always go horribly wrong. Let's find out. All right. Woo! Take two. All right, it starts out with ta ta ti ti ta ta ta. I'll just do that part. On to different rhythms using eighth notes. Now most of this should be a review Now I'm going to go over some treble clef review. Good. Let's try it again. 1, 2, here you go. He is. Oh, I'm messing it up already. Oh my goodness. Last time. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Like that. All right. It doesn't matter. Now, let me move the camera up. That's better. Now you can actually see it. Take 2. Well, that just goes to show you music class was not perfect this year, but somehow we got through it. Well, actually not somehow. I've got the cross right over here on my shoulder to remind us that when you pray and have faith, all things are possible, even teaching online for a whole year. All right, well, hallelujah, we made it. Let's finish off the way we started with the 12-bar blues. All right, here we go. Well, congratulations, everyone! Woo! You all passed the test. I said, congratulations, everyone! Woo! You all passed the test. I hope that coming up soon, you'll get to have a little bit of rest. Well, the school year is over. Woo! Don't let it be a bummer. I said the school year is over. Woo! Don't let it be a bummer. I want to wish all of you a fantastic summer. Woo! That's our music class for this year. I'll see you next week at the closing chapel.